This video is gonna be about what gear you should roll with, especially if you're a paladin, if you're trying to PvP. Pretty much the best gear, or what you should do. Now, you're gonna need these reflectors, 100% for sure, if you're gonna be PvPing, because these reflectors are the only way. I wouldn't say the only way, but the best way you're going to be able to fight casters is with these reflectors. It's just too much of a benefit for you to leave behind. I mean, this would probably be the only reason I would get engineering. Now, I would stack resistance over everything. Like my main gear, like I have like stuff like this, like extra shadow resistance, but I like to stack fire resistance because there's a fire reflector out there, but it's usually so hard to obtain. It's usually outside of your frame, but I like to get at least, I try to get close to 40 on all my resistance. And if you're a paladin, you know you have aura, so I got like over 100 resistance with this aura on, and like in different situations I'll pop it, but the reason why if you're a paladin you would want all this resistance is because I can stay on devotion aura, and if I'm going into a group I won't have to sacrifice the armor benefit. But these reflectors, I'm gonna try to get in a situation to where I could show you guys how powerful they are. And what people don't understand is that shadow reflectors reflect DLTs or damage over times or curses or whatever a warlock would roll on you when they first attack. Because when you're fighting a warlock, you know that the first thing they do is DOT you up, or they cast a bunch of damage over times on you. That's usually the first thing they do. So when you run up to a warlock, if you get good with it, you'll know that you can immediately pretty much screw them over instantly, because they're gonna DOT you up, but it's gonna reflect back on them, and they're gonna DOT themselves, thinking it's you. But I'm gonna try to get in a situation, hopefully, where I can use this. And the rest of your gear, I just mix it up with tier 1 gear with Knight Lieutenant's gear. Because I'm pretty much, my last video I showed you about the Holy Shock thing, so I can stack healing gear and still be use some of the ret tree with healing gear, and it will be beneficial, more beneficial than me stacking crit or whatever, especially since my weapon gives me 2% crit, and I get 1% crit from that, and I get 4% crit from this, so that's like 9% crit bonus right there. But here's a warlock perfect. If he rolls on me, I can show you. Now I'm willing to get into a sticky situation just for the sake of this video. Okay, if I can get a warlock to open up on me. Where's my team at? I think I can get this warlock to open up on me if I get myself in a situation where he feels that he can open up on me on. Okay, he's over here. Now you will see what I'm talking about here. Alright, you see how he fights? He DOTs them up. Now, okay. See that? Look. I don't think he fell for it. Well, he's gonna die another way then. In that particular situation, I screwed myself over with the shadow reflector because, and this is another example of how powerful this full holy with the Holy Shock thing is, especially with the resistance. Because I had this, even though he didn't fall for the shadow reflector, I still had over 100 shadow resistance with the shadow aura. So he was at such a disadvantage. That's like a warrior fighting someone with like 10,000 armor on. Like, I'm at such an advantage going into the fight that warlocks, I mean, yeah, their DOTs might get on me, but let me show the combat log. I probably, like, legit, like, You know, I resisted. That's fire. I resisted that. But see, the thing. This is why I told you why fire resistance is so important. Because if you look at the combat log, only attack he did really was a fire damage attack. That was like a non-DOT attack. Because warlocks do a lot of DOTs. So really, the reason why you want, like I said earlier, why you want so much fire resistance is because mages use fire spells, warlocks use fire spells, people might have a fire, a fury weapon, shamans use fire totems, like a lot of people use fire spells, more than you think. And I would even argue that if you have a frost reflector, you don't really need that much, especially if you're a paladin, you don't really need that much frost resistance if you have a frost reflector. And it's the same thing with the shadow reflector. That's why I started stacking fire, but I have different, like, you know, the amulet for the onyx and all that. You know, it's good to use this in PvP. I like to stack fire, like, really, like, I like to have, like, crazy fire resistance. That's like 124 right there. But, the survivability of a Shakaden is insane, like, especially with your cooldowns. Like, you see, this is a shaman, which I have no problem fighting a shaman, but, it's just preferences here. I'll try to go against a frost mage so I can show you the frost reflector. You know, because now it's on cooldown, the shadow one. And another thing I like to do, I mean, this is just personal, I like to fight non-mounted. Like, I don't like to run around. So that's got myself a problem. I don't like to run around on a mount. Like, now being on a mount would have helped me because I could have got away from these damn NPCs. But mounts actually put you at a disadvantage because if you get engaged and you on a freaking mount, that's just another thing that you have to get, you know, another button you have to press. Now with shamans, I like to just, you know, none of your auras really help against the shaman. I think retribution aura might help a little bit. You know, shamans do melee attacks and their damage aren't really a big problem. But you see, this dude he's trying to run us into that damn commander. Alright. Yeah, I ran into the damn snake's den right there. I haven't really got a chance to use my reflectors right. It's trying to get into a situation to where I can use them, but I only had one situation and he didn't use DOTs. I think he saw me use the reflector and he just stopped DOTing me. And I think that's the main reason why so many mages go fire now, because fire reflectors are so rare. You know, it's not even a point of getting them. And there's still more frost mages than fire mages, and you know, fire resistance is so easy to get, especially from molten core. So I really don't even need a fire reflector because I have so much fire resistance on. And really, if I'm fighting a mage, I usually just roll with fire aura. I don't use frost aura because I have the reflector. Like, it depends how the mage fights. Like, you know, you can switch auras up so quickly. You just have to watch the mage fight sometimes. Alright, here's a warlock. I got my shower reflector on. It works against, look at this rogue. Are you kidding me? And he just ignores me like I can't just destroy him. Look at that, man. You can't run. You can't run from death, boy. Now, watch this. See this? Look, reflect. Reflect. Look, he got himself. See it? Fuck. Well, you saw that. It pretty much showed you how I reflected his DLTs, and in that situation, I should have used the flashlight, but I got greedy and tried to use a big heal. I mean, I think that's my main weakness as a paladin. I always go for the big heal, but that the purpose of the video was fulfilled. I showed you these reflectors reflect everything. They reflect DLTs. They reflect everything. You know. Oh my gosh. I love how I get myself in so many sticky situations, man. What is my team doing? Like, I'm getting jumped and my team is like right next to me. It's because I'm engaging them. A lot of people see, if I wasn't making this video, I wouldn't just be running into groups of people like that. I would be kind of, you know, letting them attack a little bit. But that's pretty much the gist of this video. You want to have, and this was a real video. I could have edited this to show you, like, you know, me not dying or whatever, but I'm trying to show you that how these could be used in combat to benefit you, you know. And if I wasn't getting jumped, it would have been more beneficial. But you know, a shadow priest, you know, if they use mana drain or mana burn on you, this reflects mana burn. It reflects now I noticed one thing it doesn't reflect is that that channel spell they use. If they start channeling that beam on you, it doesn't reflect that. I noticed that, and I think that's something they should fix. That's a shadow spell. It should be reflectable, but it reflects, you know, 99% of the shadow priest attack, other than that one attack. But and I was resisting it too, just with the 92 shadow resistance, and I could stack more if I wanted to. Like, if I was going into that fight, I should have stacked. I should have went ahead and put this extra shower resistance on, you know. But and this is why this tier 1 gear is so important, because this tier 1 gear has resistance on it. Like this has +7 shadow. This has +10 fire. You know, that's why I'm wearing this, because this gear gives me extra resistance. I did stack the at one point I was stacking this for that 6 set, the 95%, I mean the 95 extra damage and healing down my magical spells, which was pretty much kind of like this going off, really, you know, with the holy damage side. So I replaced Vengeance with gear, but I was like, I'm gonna put this on because I like the extra resistance, and going for resistance is pretty dope. And this will be the end of this video with gear wise, and thanks for watching.